Hey all, Jennifer Duclair, the Mindset Mentor, here to help you build a lawyer life that you're absolutely in love with. You're slated to a hearing, your first court appearance, maybe on Zoom, maybe in person, such as the way things are these days. How do you appear confident, even if you're not feeling it? How do you succeed? Knock it out of the park. Get the accolades of your boss, your supervisor. Garner respect from the judge. You are a new attorney, or you've been here for a while, but you've just never had to do this before. What do you do? Where do you start? There are the practical tips, right? The things that you're going to read about all over Google or wherever anyway. You probably have already read those before you got here, where now we're going to talk about what's happening in between your two ears, the stuff that infuses all the actions that you're about to take. If you know anything about this area of study, what I call the science of mind, you know that the way you're thinking about something has more effects on your results than what it is you're doing or the directions that you're following or the strategies that you're using. Your mindset affects everything. So while you've gathered all of your strategies, from the internet, Google, and other videos, there are some great lawyer coaching channels on YouTube that can give you some of these practical tips. My area of specialty is helping you use your mind for success so that even if you do make a mistake, even if you do stumble over some things, it doesn't ruin your courtroom appearance or your day. Let's get started. Tip number one, assume the best. I know as lawyers, we're trained to look for the worst, and I get that. We have to do that for the actual job. But when it comes to how you move through this world, when you're driving into the parking garage, or you're walking in past the metal detectors, or you're interacting with the bailiff or opposing counsel, assume the best. Literally, let your mantra with every footstep be, the world is catering to me. The world is working for me. Everything is working out perfectly. Like, find a believable mantra that reinforces that everything is happening for you. Everybody's supporting you. Everybody's rooting for you. The universe is conspiring to bring me the desires of my heart, right? Find one that works for you, that is believable, and that you can repeat rather steadily. Because if you can make it your mantra with every step that you're walking from your car to the courtroom, by the time you stand before the judge, or by the time you pop open your laptop, you log in and the judge appears on the screen, you've put yourself in a good mental space. You've put yourself in a good mental space. And I have to say that that is going to help you far greater than running over the details of your case in your head while you're on your way to court, right? And I keep making these walking to court references because I didn't do the Zoom court thing as a practicing attorney. It was literally finding a parking spot and walking through the metal detectors and all of that. So that's where my thought goes when I imagine, what it's like, walking in for an appearance. Going over the details is not going to help you. You need to do that ahead of time. That's part of the practical tips that I'm sure you've watched in other places. Here we focus on the big stuff, the stuff where if you get this, all that other little stuff will follow. And even if you make a mistake, which is inevitable, because the big stuff, the mindset stuff is handled, all that other stuff just flows and actually works out in your favor. That's what we do here, right? We go to the source of it all. So first is create and adopt a positive mantra that will lift your spirits as you move into your courtroom appearance. Number two, it is really important for you to remember that everyone is human too. And if somebody is looking really large in front of your eyes, like intimidating in front of your eyes, here's a quick hint. Imagine them doing the big job, number two. Immediately humanizes a person. Because at the end of the day, we are all human. We all participate in these basic human functions. And if you could remove the suits and the this and the that and put us all on the same level, then you can feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, when you understand that we are all on the same playing field here, at the end of the day, we're all human, right? You're able to drop that set of whining voices or screaming voices, depending on how nervous you are, and get back to the task at hand. Because if you can get all that away and get back to the task at hand, you can do just fine. You're a diligent attorney. You've studied your cases, you've researched the law, you've written all of the documents that go into this file, or you spent a good amount of time reviewing. And if you haven't done any of those things in preparation, then you have a reason to be anxious and scared, let's just say. But if you have been diligent in your preparation and you've gone and gotten the training, maybe you downloaded my courtroom observation worksheet and attended court and sat back and took notes as instructed in that worksheet. And I have another video that refers to that. I'll put it in the description box below because this whole hovering video thing doesn't work out for me. So you can check that out below. I'll link that video that you can go to for how to practically, in practical strategic senses, prepare for your next court appearance or prepare for your first court appearance. But this here, the mindset part, bring everybody to the same level, including yourself. Stop looking up and worshiping people. You are all human beings. We are all human, right? We are all moving on this earth in these human bodies. So if we could just see everybody in that sense as our equals, it takes away a lot of that, the cause for the nervousness and the anxiety. Okay, so that's number two. Again, we're going deeper mindset wise. We're going to the stuff that actually shifts you on the inside so that your actions and your success flows naturally, right? It's the difference between trying to super glue some fruit to the tree versus fertilizing the soil and taking care of the tree and letting the fruit grow out naturally. One is more natural than the other, and the one lasts better, lasts longer, works better than the other. Imagine yourself trying to super glue fruit onto a tree, right? That's what happens when you follow the tips and tricks without working on the inside first. You can make it probably, but you will be nervous, anxious, stretched thin, burnt out, emotionally overloaded, and the smallest thing will set you off, will send you into a depression, or will make you want to quit the law. And that's what happens when you're working from the outside in. So work on the inside in order to make this an easier and softer path for you so that you can actually enjoy your career. The third thing, I urge you to imagine the hearing already done and your supervisor, your managing attorney, even opposing counsel saying something affirming to you. And just imagine it, and imagine it over and over and over again, right? And just make that your picture. Or imagine yourself going home at the end of the day and doing whatever it is that you do to relax, and congratulating yourself. Whatever it is that you would normally do to celebrate the fact that you've achieved this, the fact that it went well, actually. Whether that's pick up the phone and share with your sister, or crack open that bottle of wine that you've been saving, or whatever you would normally do that signifies that this went well. I want you to give yourself a moment, even right now, conjure up the image of that, right? And see where you're sitting or what you're doing as you engage in this activity that assumes, right? If this is happening now, that means court went well. Bring that up for yourself and hold that image in your mind. See how it makes you feel while you imagine yourself going through that scene in your mind. And allow yourself to let that feeling and that scene sit with you for a few minutes every day, maybe even several times throughout the day, most especially before you go to sleep. So if you're heading into court in the next hour, your best bet is to take that mantra and just start breathing it, right? And start breathing it and seeing, how can I believe this is true for me, right? Reach for a mantra that you can really wrap your arms around and just repeat it to yourself as you breathe in and out and go through your daily tasks, repeating this. It's like a golden aura of light. It will just bathe everything that you do and everything will look brighter. And so you'll respond in a brighter, more confident way. And so then things do come out better and then you feel better. It just has that compounding effect. Just that simple mantra. Okay. That's if you're walking into court in the next hour and there's not a lot of time. But if you know you want to have an inside out sort of a joyous life, that doesn't depend on who's doing what around you and doesn't like seesaw or like, go up and down like an emotional roller coaster based on whether you did well at work today or you got reprimanded or you met your billables or you're falling behind. Like, that's too much emotional drama. You need to be the center, the calm, the eye of the storm. Let all that stuff just buzz around you and you do you with peace and inner joy and satisfaction with contentment. And that affects your work, and your work comes out better, and you feel better, and the compounding effect. If you know you need to work from the inside out, I urge you to not only go ahead and drink in the other videos on this attorney life series, but also see how you can get in for an attorney mindset session so that we can find out what's in your way of being that calm, sturdy rock of your own life, right? So that you can succeed from a place of peace and contentment and really celebrate your triumphs, right? Rather than scurrying from one achievement to the next, barely savoring the moment, feeling stretched out, stretched in, overburdened, and like they're not paying you enough to go through all this. That's a mindset thing. Let's find out what's in the mind and what basic things can be cleared away right away so that you can start living a better life today. Look below for an attorney mindset session opportunity, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye for now.